Hi again. Unusually for me, I've actually decided to record the next letter in the Shackles acronym on the same evening as I did the previous one. So we had Shackles, growing free from shackles, silence, heart, acceptance. So we want to see the letter C in the Shackles acronym. Okay, so following on from this, there'll be KLES, another 4 video clips. Okay, and I think each one is turning out to be about 10 minutes each, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes each. So I suppose once they're all put together, it's about an hour's worth of footage. But I usually do them when I get the feeling, and tonight I am feeling particularly in the zone, I suppose, to speak. And so I'm just going to go with that. So the next letter, letter C, is it's not a word this time, it's a phrase that I would use, which is catching yourself in the act. And the importance of catching yourself in the act of doing the things that are not helpful. They're doing the things that are keeping you where you are and where you don't want to be, or taking you back to a place that you have left or thought you'd left, because sometimes, gosh, I don't know whether anyone else gets this, sometimes you move forward so far and then something happens and it triggers whatever it is, and you find yourself going back and you think, oh no, I thought I got over this, but we're people. So again, I think maybe the strongest message I would want to give is the importance of when I'm moving on to the next letter, kindness. The importance of kindness, because when we're going through this process of growing free from shackles, as I said in the previous video when I was talking about acceptance, this isn't an act of self-brutality, this is an act of self-love. And so when we're catching ourselves in the act, it's about, a bit like you do with children, really, saying, well, if you go there, you're going to get hurt, you're going to get burned, you're going to whatever. And the thing is, with the way that we are with ourselves and the things that we do and the patterns and the habits that we form, is that we don't always, because they become part of our comfort zone, we don't always acknowledge them as painful. We can almost become numb or immune even to the impact of those things. And it's a bit like, if a tap's dripping onto something and you don't know for a while, and then you suddenly see that the wood is underneath that tap, or maybe under the sink, has started to erode. So, catching yourself in the act is about saying, whoa, come, stop, yeah, hearing yourself. So where I said in acceptance, I said it's not about saying, oh, you're so stupid or whatever. The minute you find yourself saying those things to yourself, that you'd say, stop, you're lovely. Now, I've been through this process. I've been through the process of, and I say been through because it's not a kind of forevermore, although now it's a maybe occasionally when I'm feeling particularly vulnerable, I have to be a bit more conscious of self-talk, and particularly negative self-talk. But I remember years ago, and I'm going back, maybe 15 or so years, where I undertook a very specific process of challenging and changing my own negative self-talk. Some people might call it thoughts. For me, it's self-talk in those moments, because I think sometimes when you are in that zone of giving yourself that negative kind of food, it's as if somebody else may as well be saying. In fact, your voice, your inner voice, your inner critic or whatever, is quite possibly rooted in another's voice from way back when. But you've assimilated it, and so not necessarily are you able to separate that from your own thoughts and self-talk. So I went through a process where I consciously would not even wait for the negative voice, but I would just, at every opportunity, give myself props. I'll be driving down the street and I'm talking to myself. No one knows. Potentially I'm listening to music, singing, aren't I? Or I might be on the phone nowadays with an earpiece, but I'm literally reviewing my day. You did great. Oh, when you did that thing there, that was really cool. And whatever it is, just giving myself props. It's not about waiting for other people to do that, because people are doing themselves. People are doing themselves. We have to do ourselves. So there's the kind of proactive stuff, which is about getting comfortable with saying nice things to yourself, which is really important. And I can tell you, if anyone else has done this, for me, I felt really stupid when I started doing it. I'm using the word look stupid. I did. I thought, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Honestly, you're crazy. Talking to yourself. But after a little while, I started to think, you know what, this feels kind of good. I like this. It feels good. So I carried on. To the point where actually it wasn't a conscious thing anymore. It was just something. To the point where I no longer needed to do it. And it's a bit like, the glass of water, and then or you put some Coke in it and it looks like Coke for a little while, but then if you flush it out with enough water, eventually the Coke's in there, but it really doesn't have power over the identity of the glass of water anymore, in a physical sense anyway. It's your positive self-talk can flush out the negativity, but you do have to be conscious with that. And so catching yourself in the act is about consciously being it present in the moment, being reflexive, being mindful. And again, not only what you are saying to yourself, but the way that you are communicating with other people, the way that you're behaving with other people, the thoughts that you're having about other people, the feelings that you're having, the times when you may go into your victim position, maybe, oh, it's not fair, how come and I'm always, and people are, all of those things. Catching yourself in the act, because those things, those messages, keep us where we are. And let's not forget, this is about growing free from shackles to be who we are. Be who we are. Without those layers, not to say that those layers aren't there because they're part of our life, they're part of our experience, they're part of our existence, meaning they're part of our learning. It's about saying, yeah, these, that, these. However, this is who I am, irrespective of these, that, these. And so, the importance of catching ourselves in the act and saying, stop, and changing it. Now, all of these letters in the acronym, they are standalone, but more significantly, they are a collective. They work together. So I have to be able to accept who I am, accept myself for who I am, whether I am doing the things that I'd like to be doing right now or not, so that I am able to be motivated to catch myself in the act. I have to accept responsibility so that I am motivated to catch myself in the act. So this is an important part of the process, because this is the part where we're no longer just reflecting and silently thinking, yeah, you know, silence, I need to be silent, yeah, what's in my heart, and yeah, I accept. We're now saying, this is a doing, we're catching ourselves in the act. Not only are we catching ourselves in the act, but we are doing something about it. It's no different to deciding to eat wholemeal bread or soda bread as opposed to, you know, thick cut white bread, or, you know, going from full fat milk to semi-skimmed or whatever. It's no different. It's an exchange. So we need to catch ourselves in the act, and then we need to act on what we've caught. And that's it. And I think this video was a little bit longer. I hope that I haven't spoken in too many riddles. I know I can do that sometimes. I know what I mean. I sincerely hope that my message has reached. All right, take care. Bye-bye.